Hello pandas. Catalytic converter theft. It's on the rise. How do I know? Well, ever since I put out that video explaining how to make sure you're getting a good price for one, people have been commenting as though they somehow think it's my fault theirs got nicked. Now, I'm going to set aside for a moment how obviously offensive the implications of that are for both myself and the scrappers community, to address the issue in a proactive way. So here are all the things you can do to protect yourself and your car from catalytic converter theft. So in order to cover this, let's quickly go over what a person has to do to take off with your cat. They'll need to shimmy under your car with a sawzall or an angle grinder, find the cat, and then cut it off at the exhaust pipes. It's pretty simple and it only takes a minute, but it's also pretty easy to thwart. In order to take your cat, they need 3 things: a cordless saw, access to both ends of the pipe, and free space to drop the thing out of, which there usually is because exhaust pieces are mounted by flexible rubber mounting points because it needs to move, so if you bump the end, it doesn't break stuff. You want to stop them? Remove one of those elements. Let's skip the fluff. There are products on the market to do exactly this. Some of them are cheap. First up, the easy one, comprehensive insurance. Yes, it covers vandalism and theft. It's also much more expensive than regular insurance, and you'll still have to pay the deductible. Not a real answer. Next, Catlock. This company makes vehicle-specific devices that wrap around the converter and bolt onto the frame. Probably the most straightforward solution, but not available for every car, so maybe do a search and see if they have one for your specific model. How about steel cable? Some companies make these for this exact purpose. Check out this one. Cat clamp. $200 to $400 plus installation. Hold on a minute. Yep. $7 at Home Depot. For a whole kit, 30 feet plus clamps. So what I would do is wrap the entire length around the catalytic converter both ways. Do some macrame you learned on 5-minute crafts or whatever, and then run it through some of the holes that your frame under your car will have. No, it's not going to work 100%, but this is definitely the right idea. Heck, at that price, double them up. Maybe buy some garden hose to wrap them in so they don't rattle as much. Now, if you're absolutely serious, here's what is probably the best solution: installing a skid plate. Yes, it's a little more expensive, but here's the thing. If they can't access both ends of the pipe, then they're not going to be able to cut it out. Plain and simple. There are sort of expensive, actual heavy-duty skid plates that you can buy ready-made for your vehicle, which would be money well spent. But if it were me and I was just trying to prevent someone from having access to the cat, I would crawl under there and make a cardboard stencil all the way to the frame rails that I was trying to attach to, and then go and cut that stencil out of a washing machine or a fridge or a car hood or something like that, ideally galvanized steel or aluminum, so that way it doesn't rust. And then just drill some holes and just bolt it right onto the frame, completely cutting off access. You'll be more aerodynamic as an added bonus, might save some gas. Otherwise, you can get creative. Do the whole steel cable wrap thing and then cover the entire assembly in a metal cage of some sort, which has the advantage of letting water and rocks fall out, but might be noisy overall. Depends on how serious you are. At the end of the day, there isn't really anything you can do to stop a thief, because if they want your converter bad enough, then they're going to get it. All of these solutions are just adding more pieces of metal that they'd have to cut through in order to access it. And they've already got a metal saw with them, but this is pretty much the best you can do. You're just making yours more difficult to remove, so either they'll move along and keep looking for something easier, or spend long enough trying to cut yours off that they get caught. If you don't know your vehicle though, then have a look, because a lot of them have the catalytic converter come directly off of the exhaust manifold on the engine block, so it's really close and it comes down at an angle, which would make it very difficult to get a saw's access to both ends, in which case you're probably safe and don't have to worry about this sort of thing. If you're driving a vehicle with a particularly valuable converter though, maybe go with the cable and cage. No, I'm not going to be going over a list of all the ones I know that are particularly valuable. It's still not my fault for making a video about it though. Catalytic theft has always been a thing. It's just that with prices having gone up and then the horrible employment situation in 2020, it's the worst it's ever been. In 2019, catalytic theft was up 432% from 2018, just in Calgary, and I've heard things are much worse in Edmonton. And it doesn't seem to be single unit thefts either. I feel like I'm always hearing about how a couple individuals went through a parking lot or a bus storage overnight thingy, cutting off all of the ones from trucks and buses, and that's why I suggest a theft deterrent. No, it won't be 100% effective. But if somebody is ripping through a lot, trying to get as many as possible, as quickly as possible, to fill their truck or van, and they come up and see this, they're probably going to go get 3 other ones instead of spending an hour on your Gordian knot. Otherwise, yeah, park near the entrance of the place you're going into. Park in a garage. If you don't have a garage, park in a well-lit area. Install a front and rear dash cam, or an aftermarket alarm that goes off with vibrations. But the problem is on the rise, so it would be wise to at least make it look like a huge pain in the butt to get it out. That's all I've got. So if your catalytic converter goes missing now, you can't blame me. Now go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It'll make you feel good. It'll make me feel good. Leave it better than you found it. Keep doing the thing.